pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening. Thank you everyone for coming. First item we have is the public hearing on the request to rezone the property. Do we have an address on that?
There's no address assigned to it.
Anybody wishing to provide testimony regarding that?
Yeah, I would. How's everybody doing tonight?
Good.
Would you stand right here?
Yeah, sure.
Here, about that? Okay. I've got,
Your name and
I'm Kevin Frisbee,
Okay.
and I'm the founder of Frisbee Monuments. We've been in Jackson County about 25 years. And we've been about here about the last 10 years. We're a small monument company. We bought the property across from the cemetery. And we wanted to I would like to rezone, have the front half, it's all residential now. We'd like to have the front half zoned, commercial. And in the back half, what we would like to do would be, we would look at like a multifamily. So we could put a duplex there, if we would like. On the back half of the property is kind of what we'd like to do, so we kind of like to split it. I think right now it's residential. The whole thing's residential, so we'd be asking for multifamily on the back half, and then the front half would be commercial. And then that's kind of what we're kind of asking for tonight, to kind of get things started. And then we had some plans that kind of showed the plan and zoning. We kind of showed Tony them at the beginning of the week. I said this is kind of what we were looking at, kind of showed them the math the architect would run. And then they talked about, he talked about some of the restrictions. One thing we'd have to look at as far as the offsets. I said, and make sure that we can obviously get everything that we want. I kind of had an architect lay everything out, but I'm not sure exactly what's all the requirements for offsets on the residential and on what we want to do. So that's something we still have to work out and see what we're working with the size of the lot. The lot's pretty big. The lot is 200 deep by 150, 149 wide. And so right now we would look at, once we plat it out for sure, we'd look at either splitting it in half or maybe having to, I'm not positive, ideally we'd like to split down the center, but it's possible we might have to, when we plat it off, we might have to depend on parking and some of the requirements that we would have to meet, we may have to go a little bit more than half on the commercial side. Once we actually got down to some of the exact size requirements. I couldn't get, I talked to a couple architects, but everybody's pretty busy and nobody can give me exact number. And then we kind of have to decide what we're going to do. We know we'll have a sales office out there, and we would like to do, we would in time do some production inside the building. Our operation's pretty clean. We really don't have any, we don't really do any really outside storage except for what's on display, like we have here on 24 Highlands. Is kind of how we live. So that's kind of what we're asking for.
I think that I could definitely be comfortable with the commercial piece. The other part, we had at our last meeting, there was an issue about splitting lots. Does the county do, if he wants to have that lot split, the county would need to do that, right?
Yes.
We would plot it off and we would have to have it plotted off and take it to the county. And before we would do that, we would have an architect work on exactly what the configuration, we would have to make sure everything would fit before we, we do it exactly, the exact split. If it would be 50-50 or it would be a little bit more.
Now, I don't want to put words in people's mouths, but I think we would need to see the end product before, if you're asking us to approve it as a commercial property, I think that we can move that motion forward, but as presented, I think we have to wait until we saw what the county did from a planning standpoint.
Well, it would be the county, it would be, what we would be, yeah, it would be what, you know, how we would lay out. What Tony recommended was, splitting, is he here?
He was usually here, but
You
not
do?
a good night.
What he had recommended doing was splitting it, front half commercial, and then back half, you know, residential is what he was recommending. That was kind of but if you want us to put something else together, exactly, then, and then come back, then we definitely could.
Could you?
That's just gonna take a minute, that has a lot of money involved, architecture work, everything exactly out, and so it's good, so that, we're not opposed to that, that's just gonna take a while.
Is it a no for you if we just okay commercial and not the residential?
Probably, right now, we would like to split that, we would like to have the opportunity to, we're a family operation, and we, want a family member to be able to live there, on the facility, for us.
Pardon?
One of my predecessors apparently did kind of a one-off deal, and we were scrambling last week trying to figure out what exactly happened. So if we run it through the county, there will be good records that keep track of what parcel is what and how it was zoned and all of that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we would have to, it would have to be, we'd replot it, and then that would go to the county once we, you know, exactly. But we understand.
I mean, conceptually, I don't have any grief with it, but just before we would vote on something, I want to
Okay.
have what it is exactly that we're approving.
Okay, yeah, that's gonna take a while for us to put together.
And I got on the discussion on this tonight, just as, if you guys like the idea that he can move forward with all the engineering, design and all that, or if he gets like totally against it, I'd say, you know, spend money to do that, you know.
So I think,
Yeah, I think.
That's what this discussion was about. I didn't
Let me-
have you guys approve it.
Yeah,
Just-
let me kind of give you the breakout. What we want to do is that we would like to start, and I have the drawings, and I can show you guys the drawings that we have. We've had architects already do up the drawings. We just don't know if they meet the requirements, all of the exact offsets and everything. I can't sit here and say 100%, because Tony mentioned some offsets that were different to what our architect already, you know, what our architect.
No, I'm gonna get to it, think on it.
Okay,
Well, if you would, consider when you're thinking about making that up, as if later on you don't own it and somebody else does, but the city's,
yeah.
because that we ran into that, and we're still paying for decisions we made that were probably good at the time, but are not good for us now.
Okay.
So that's all, that's kind of what I'm concerned about mostly.
Right, yeah. makes
Not,
sense.
not that your deal isn't right for you, it's just,
Right.
is it gonna be right for the city and the residents down the road?
Yeah. Yeah, I understand. Yes, I would just have to, the way the architect set it up now, I think, you know, if it's plotted right, I think it's, doable. One of the things that we, well, let me do this. I'm more happy I'm not the only owner, so I have to kind of go back and say, hey, listen, you guys want to do this whole thing, commercial right now, or, I kind of ask this, or that's the reason I'm kind of hesitant on that respect.
and you might have your architect, because our stuff would be available online on the city
Yeah,
web,
yeah,
360.
yeah. I think-
He could get our setbacks.
I assume that he already did,
Okay.
but he is fell ill, and I couldn't get a hold of him, so I couldn't be 100%, on it. So that was, because Tony mentioned different offsets than what he had on there, and so I couldn't verify.
Yeah, so yeah, I just,
Okay.
I'm not saying that Tony was wrong, I'm just saying you can independently check what we would be going off of that on the E360 website.
Yeah. Okay.
And would that residential and commercial be allowed to be split up later down the road by some other owners?
So-
And then if it is,
Right.
I would think it would need its own driveway back to the residential rather than coming through the commercial.
So what it would be, it would be padded off as two, what it would be padded off as two separate lots. So yes, one could be sold off. Just there would be an easement drive, there would have to be, at least at a glance, when I looked at it, to meet all the requirements of this, of the city requirements, there would be an easement driveway, just like if you had a piece of property and you had an easement drive. So whoever would buy it, it could be sold off separate. And
So say it was a truck shop down the road and the residents has to drive through all of the stuff that they're parking and moving around to get back to the housing. I have an issue with that.
right. Okay. Okay.
My only 2 cents I'm gonna put in here, and I don't have a problem with the commercial part of this, is that that's currently zoned as single family, and you wanna zone it as multifamily in the back. My 5+ years on the board, I can tell you from experiences that the multifamily dwellings are an issue.
Okay.
And they've been issues, and I don't see them getting any better.
Okay.
So I'm not real big on the multifamily part of it.
Okay. The reason I did the multifamily was because I put that in there only because I didn't know if we could meet all the offset requirements we wanted to have. But okay, that's good.
Yeah, I just wanted you to be aware of that.
Okay, thanks. I appreciate that. Yeah. That way I don't have to, because I don't want to go down the road if we can't get there. Cincinnati, it's just there's to spend the money and try to go there. We want to. We're all. I live south of town. My daughter was north of town on Bucking Road, so we're all close. We're just trying to find something that something bigger than what we have here that we can all that we can use. Years down the road. I know you're talking about selling it, but
Well, I get it, but what we have an issue with is something I had no part of.
yeah.
And it's commercial and residential in the same place, and it's creating a whole lot of headache for the commercial, for the residents around it.
Okay.
But yet it's legal. So that's the thing I just want to stay away from.
Yeah.
So making a decision now that could totally different than what you're setting up for yourself.
Right. Well, I appreciate the input. But let's just sit tight. I really talked to you about the whole commercial thing and kind of take back then kind of what you said, and then we can if we want to proceed forward. I just got done about 3 hours ago with the board of equalization on a bunch of commercial property. Judge K's making tough, guys.
Yeah.
For people who have businesses here, I'm going to tell you right now, from a businessman standpoint, doing this is my 46th year, and they're making it extremely tough. Even to build commercial property and how they're doing it. The state's got to intervene. The state obviously intervened on the residential side, but it's time for the state to on the commercial side, because if you guys knew what they were doing and how bad the commercial. See, there's no 15% on commercial.
Yeah, we need to change the leadership.
So they just so the cost just for us to be here in Jackson County is kind of staggering now because of the real estate that we own. The real estate here in Buckner, what they've done to us here, I can't blame them here in Buckner. And the other piece we own here in Jackson County. It's
All right, not to cut you off, but so we're at the point where wait for better plans and move from there.
Yeah. Let me come back. Let me see if they want to do it all commercial, and then if not, we do it as some residential, kind of like single family, and then let me just bounce it off them, and then have them come with you guys.
Well, thank you for having your business here in town.
I appreciate it. Yeah, right.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
Yes, been great. Thanks a lot.
Anyone else with any testimony to give regarding the issue before us? If not, we take a motion to close the hearing.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing is closed. Next up, minutes of our Aldermen's meeting from July 3rd.
Motion to approve.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Next item is approval of the bills list.
Pay the bill.
Second.
Any discussion on that? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We shall pay the bill. Next up, public comments. You want to ask a question? Let's
We're with-
come up here and your name and address.
Yeah, we're with Midwest Rolling Thunder. We're a local charity organization. There was a fire nearby 4th of July weekend.
Jeremy Brown,
A little girl was killed. She lives,
1101, like,
Please, yeah.
Yeah.
it's actually a friend of mine,
Please.
it's a friend of mine, him and her.
but we do charity events all the time for stuff like this. And we want to know, since she was a Buckner local, if we can do a boot drive here in Buckner to raise money for the family to help out with what they got going on right now.
He was thinking of the 26th, I talked to Jerry, he's okay with it, but we need to come here first and ask you guys.
Yeah, what's a boot drive?
So we stand up there lighting,
Yeah, we stand at four-way intersection
I showed you.
and we hold our helmets or buckets and we pass out flyers explaining what's going on, why we're there, and it's, people just donate and we donate 100% of the proceeds to what the cause is for.
I'm gonna defer to the chief.
If it's okay with the chief, it's okay with me.
Well, my only thoughts of this is MoDOT controls 24 highways, so I would think they would have to give MoDOT.
I called that the message today.
Because it's,
I called that the message today about doing a blink light.
So that'd be wrong to say.
I did leave a message today,
It actually gets caught, somebody gets
Well,
stolen, somebody gets
Buckner
hit.
Charge is the county, so
Huh?
Buckner Charge is the county.
Well, MoDOT owns up to the schools on the
Right.
right, yeah. So they stand at the way to be on county, be on highway.
Okay.
That's my.
I didn't know if we even had any say so at all in this.
You guys have actually helped block a couple of our rides that have come through town.
Yeah.
It's within the city limits. I don't see an issue with it. Being on 24 might be a little bit, but doing it on Sibley or Buckner Tarsney is not an issue at all.
Yeah,
What's the
so
date?
so intersections like that usually with lights, if it's green light, we just stay out of the way. And then when red light, we kind of, try to pass out flyers and talk to people.
I think as long as we stay with that, I think it'd be fine. The people, they fly through here.
Yeah.
When it's green, I wouldn't want to be out there. But
I also did talk to, what's the fireworks guy, the gravel? Right around the corner.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember his name.
I just talked to
Yeah,
him.
the people that own that
He gave me
lot.
permission to sit there too.
Yeah.
We have another member of ours that has, friends with Jackson County Tow, they want to have bring a couple trucks out with lights on to kind of direct attention. We're gonna set like a little, if they wanted to pull over, make a donation or something, so we're not.
What was the date you were on?
July 26th.
Next Saturday,
Yeah.
26th.
July 26th, it's actually would have been her 14th birthday that day. Oh, man. I did leave a message.
We need to amend
Change that to
the
a
agenda for
Lincoln
this.
red light, I don't know if they do that or not, I do a motion to get here back.
Yeah, being 24 hours.
Yeah,
That's what they do.
Making sure.
I called him this afternoon,
No.
didn't expect a phone call back yet, so.
So we just make a motion then? Yeah, I'd like to make a motion to approve that.
I will second that motion.
All in favor?
Cool, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate what you're doing.
So we're gonna make a couple flyers and have Manny take them around town.
Admin and finance?
Mayor and board members, for 3/4 of the way through the year, you guys should have the financial report in your packet. I think notable in this month is that really all funds are operating with revenues in excess of the expenditures through 3/4 of the year, which I think is a good thing. Yay. And really, that's really happening through, really conservative spending in all areas. The only fund that is operating at a deficit at this point is the wastewater portion, and it's not the total water wastewater fund, it's just the sewer side of that, that have expenditures that exceed the revenues so far this year. That's not atypical of any municipality that provides sewer services. They are extraordinarily expensive, and the cost of treatment and maintenance is extraordinarily high.
Is any of that through the construction work that we've started? Is it-
Yeah, great question, Mayor Box. That's all separated and in the separate fund. So all of those dollars are sitting in the ARPA fund, where we still have dollars available for spending there. So that is none of those costs. It's really truly your operating maintenance costs there.
But do you know, I was trying to remember one time I knew the answer to this.
Mhm.
What the deficit is on the wastewater side?
Yep, I do. One minute. I already have, I had a printout and I have saved that in a very safe place that I am no longer able to access at the very moment. So I pulled it here on my phone. So the deficit year to date in your sewer is, I apologize, I'm just back down, 80 grand. So your revenue so far, 351, I'm sorry, that's the budget. Your revenue so far, I was in the budget, I want to make sure I'm in the correct column here, I apologize. That was the budget. Your year to date, you're actually okay by 28 grand. You planned an operating deficit, so I misspoke there. Yeah, you're actually in the black, 28 grand.
Okay, so there's not a deficit.
No, I was pulled the wrong column, I apologize. My technology is smaller than your technology, and I looked at the wrong column, I apologize.
Okay. I know that we have another rate increase scheduled in January, I think it's $1.
Yes, yeah, and so that will be built into the budget, and we'll have a draft budget. Joe was kind enough to provide the most recent estimated AV, and I'll give that spreadsheet, to both of you after, this meeting. I went and updated your real estate projections using the most recent form, so that we have draft numbers and all the budget line items for you all to consider as the initial draft, and we can modify from there, so we can get prepared for that next budget. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Oh, you're very, very welcome. Thank you.
All right, next, public health and safety.
You did.
Yeah.
Calls were up high again, but other than that, everything's about the same. We did get the combat grant for the SRO, got approved, and they approved it for 2 years, so.
So we'll have more than
The next 2 years.
$1.93 in that account right now.
You what?
So we'll have more than $1.93.
That Jackson County not approving their budget until June didn't help anything, so, but it's all approved now. That's all I've got.
As I said, I don't know how long he's gonna keep working, if that's all we had. The park board, I don't see anybody. Save that. Planning and zoning, don't see.
We had a meeting on Tuesday, and like I said, Kirby was one of them, and then, as I let you guys know earlier, we got some individual looking at buying the last bit of property here in Osage Springs, and he's, right now he's looking at 134 single-family homes that he's gonna put in that area. So that'll be coming up in the next couple of months or so. He just now started the process, so.
Pretty exciting.
Public works.
I went down there and looked at the rebid, looks pretty good. And, everything looks like it's up and running. I don't know if our main man wants to talk or not back here. I put you on the spot.
Don't put me on the spot, I'm good.
I did meet Bill. I didn't know who he was. Bill Summers? Bob, okay. See? Yeah. I went and looked at that roller for the asphalt. It looks like it's pretty heavy duty. If we can, I talked to Bob, see if they could hook it on the front of the Bobcat where they could roll it without running over their asphalt, kind of move it around and roll it. But I'll bet that'll work better than what you're using anyway, and be a little smoother.
I'm glad I can use my feet to do better than what we got. with that
Yeah,
camera.
absolutely, but that
I
roll.
remember you said that.
That's not a roll, that's not your grandpa's roller for the yard. That's a street roller. So even if there isn't anything, it's like I tapped on it, it's hollow. Even if it isn't full of water or sand, it's still heavy because it's got like 1/2 inch steel around the roller part of it. So at least we could use that until we get to something better. And still, again, I'd like to keep bringing this up, that it'd be nice to at least maybe we get some gravel in that that shop on the corner. At least it could be
Shop on the corner.
of the public, of the, their big shop that's on the north.
The one where the
north-
lab for the wastewater is.
No, the northeast corner, it's a big
Oh, the
shop.
big metal building now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Big-
yeah, the one that I think is not heated or.
No, yeah.
No, Bob said that they.
No, we gotta get
said-
it down in it.
Oh.
So, but maybe we could get some gravel in it, and they can start putting stuff and packing it down, and then when we have enough money, maybe concrete
Do we have
it.
some excess millings?
Yeah, we got like a bunch.
Yeah,
of
like,
300.
yeah.
I just, because they need something bigger than what that is to do their maintenance.
Right now, I'm just saying if we could use the millings, that we could.
The millings would work for now to start packing, but you can't put a jack on it, you can't, it's not easy to roll stuff around, they need to be able to, it's not for working. Millings is just for parking, it's not for, it's
We're not
not.
gonna put a jack on gravel, are we?
No, but you put gravel down first
Right.
before you put the concrete. I'm just saying, maybe we can
But
get
you
that
use
part
millings
done.
as a base.
You could do that too, as long as it's just for
And that
temporary.
monster roller that you were talking about, we could maybe get it good and compacted, and then at some point when we put.
Yeah, spray it down with that.
Now you're talking what I'm thinking, yeah.
Just spray it down with that fuel oil that we have.
Find the right channel.
Yeah, because right now, it'd be pretty difficult to work on their long stuff, like their trailers and things like that. So,
And then,
Speaking of the buildings, did we do anything with,
yeah, the whole back part's done.
did we spray it down and?
We tried it, I don't know how good it was, but we tried it. So yeah, they did all the entire alleyway and the parking spots for the police officers, so it's all, you can go back there, it looks pretty nice. He rolled it out and they did a good job.
But spraying it down really didn't do it?
I don't think we got the right combination, I don't know.
Okay.
We don't have the right equipment. If we wanna drop $1,000, I can get us a spraying trailer, and that's what it's gonna need unless we're gonna contract it out.
And also,
Spreading that tack around, it's liquidy, but it's so thick that, I mean, you can't use no residential sprayer on it. Even the commercial sprayers, they don't really keep up with it without, like a road back there, I mean, you ain't spreading near enough to what you need to be.
So volunteer my weed sprayer ain't gonna do you any good?
No,
Okay.
trust me, if you can think of it, I tried it.
somebody tried to take the stop sign off of Johnson, and what's your street?
James and Johnson.
James and Johnson, it's right off, so.
Okay. Is it at James and Johnson?
Mhm.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
That's why you did it.
Yeah, they pulled the bolt through it, they had to work pretty hard to get it that far.
and then Zimmer came on Tuesday, and so they started working on the meters. We think around, what do you say?
56,
Huh?
56 today.
They did, and they did 56 today, what did they do the other day?
61.
61, so 107 meters are now.
We've got,
populated.
we've got 102 left. We should have, we're gonna come in Saturday, we're probably gonna shut Saturday. We'll be back to the ground level,
Yeah,
back to
there's-
all complete, ready to go.
And they,
Promises,
moving forward,
promises.
moving forward, Brooks knows the first thing they do, everyone is check that little map, they see one little red dot, to
Oh, there
go
you go.
investigate, see what's going on. But, yeah, so, just let everybody know here, I already called today, let him know, this month, since they showed up unannounced, because they were supposed to be here the 24th or 27th, this week was supposed to be the week that we did rereads for the water meter, so everybody's gonna get estimated that we couldn't read, because our guys have been out with these guys fixing the meters.
That's good to be helped.
So I'm just letting you know, that way, if you citizen contact you, say, hey, at least you know
Right.
why.
Yeah. Would you check the pothole at the end of the bank drive again? I don't know if that stuff held or not. When I drove by, I just glanced over, it looked like it was trying to pit out again.
Back where,
At the end of the bank drive for, please.
And we still tentatively on for September as far as paving streets, or is that? still-
I've been getting a lot of calls about that. on
That's
Hazel
still
and
a-
that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I mean,
Tentatively
the
on.
street fund is still sitting at, what, 69,000 of change, I mean, we could put a little bit, but I think, what were the bids that we had? Did we have that they were north of 100,000?
But that was due all the projects though. So I had to look back and see.
And that was doing this too.
Yeah, I was doing
Yeah.
that, did all the projects, doing Adams
Yeah.
from, basically from Osage all the way down to Vernon, and that was all the big projects. I mean, I can, by the next meeting, you guys want to discuss, I can get the numbers individually.
Yeah,
broke down.
that'd be good.
Yeah, see
I
where
mean, I think it would be nice if we get, Hazel done, because we are getting a lot.
Yeah, I mean, that
Yeah,
is,
it's bad, it's
that
horrible.
is a mess back there at that corner.
Yeah, it would be nice, I mean, I think maybe 20, 30,000, I mean, I have to look at, I think it's only like 20, 30,000.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure, I have to go back and look at the bids, but that would be nice, at least get Hazel done.
Yeah.
That's you guys' decision, I can have it ready next meeting. We can
Please.
discuss about it.
Yep.
Cool.
I don't see any players in the festival.
I have something from her in a text.
Okay.
Oh,
But, she said something about, you had talked to her about using the city seal for the, yeah, not that seal, for the 150th anniversary to go with the fairs and festivals, and we think it.
Yeah, I mean, they were needing a placeholder. I mean, it's not copyrighted, as far as I know, so if they wanted to use it, it's a city event, so. I
Okay.
don't have a problem with it.
That's all I
Come up
have.
with a 150th logo or something, I guess that'd be fine too, but
Okay.
we've already got letting in.
I've got some PDF files Casey sent me of the city seal, so.
So, yes,
Okay.
so.
Is that what you were gonna
This is
say?
our
no,
last
I
meeting.
got the same one.
Yeah, okay, yeah, because she texted me right before the
Yes.
meeting.
Oh, well, here's your calendar. So in 2 weeks, well, actually not quite 2 weeks, but on the 30th is when that Wallet Heels, where they'll be bringing in that for setting things up. So if you have any time or interest, welcome the assistants. I'll be.
What time?
I signed up for Wednesday. I think it starts at 8.
On the 31st,
On the 30th.
on the 30th,
Yeah.
and that's
That's a
Saturday.
Wednesday.
Is that Wednesday? 8 o'clock Wednesday.
Yeah. I don't know what they need us to do, but
Okay,
they're looking for volunteers.
okay.
In the AM or PM?
AM. Yeah, PM wouldn't have been a problem, but I had to take the day off, so I could go do it. All right, first item, old business, discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding park department paying their portion of the insurance policy. I apologize, I was gonna get that looked up, but I know it was in the ballpark of, what, $12,000, what the total?
Yeah.
What we had last time you saw was the total asset value and the relationship between the park property and the total city property. Just taking that times the premium, it was 10% of that was gonna be right at $12,000. I know that one of the park board members vigorously objects to that move, interest in disclosure. But he objects to pretty much everything, so do with that what you will.
Did we ask for, I know there was a discussion at the last meeting about offsetting costs for them, et cetera, and didn't we ask for, show us how this is gonna impact you?
Well, and they didn't, I didn't see theirs, but Joe sent me the reconciliations and I went through and saw, I mean, looked for recurring payments and I think there were, what, other than Evergy and.
LG, Comcast.
Yeah, there was a couple of minor
Diamond.
bills relative to what they have, it's not gonna significantly impede the cash
I
flow.
assumed as much, my point was there was no one here to, but I would think they would have shown up.
I think they didn't conduct themselves appropriately earlier today.
I see.
Maybe are regretting their behavior. I'm hoping.
Is
So,
it-
what I would ask is for a motion to approve the percentage, basically $12,000, $1,000 a month, or $12,000 all at once, however you want to collect it. But if they're saying that they're, got a cash flow issue, just take $1,000 a month for the insurance.
No, that's what we suggested before, was it didn't have to be all in one hit.
Right, I mean, that way, because this is kind of their busy season, so.
Yeah.
And, you know, I understand them, but they're having a legal issue with most of this, and our council's absolutely trying to explain it to the park board, and just, it really didn't get nowhere with it, and they're really kind of backwards about spending the funds for things like that and for maintenance. But our council absolutely said it was totally legal, and he could prove it with the other cities that are doing the same thing. And my feelings on that is, our fund needs it more, and we've got more to cover than what they have on the park, and that's recreation, and we have things to take care of.
Well,
So-
ultimately, what they will do is they will break us, because they'll be building new stuff and telling us we have to pay the maintenance on all of it, and we won't have money to pay to keep the streets and the water and the sewer.
That's just it. It's kind of like owning a home that you can't maintain, you can't afford to maintain.
Yeah, it's nice that they can add all this stuff to the
Yeah.
park, and the park's looking great. But then when, the general fund's taking a hit every year,
It's
over and
all-
over,
yeah.
we can't sustain it.
Right, and as long as they can maintain it, it's okay.
Yeah, if the teenager gets a new car, but mom and dad has to pay the insurance every month, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'd like to move to approve it.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, folks. Discussion, consideration, possible action regarding Kevin Frisbee's preliminary plans. I think that's on.
Yeah, you guys pretty much took care of that? Yeah.
Discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding a brush drop-off site. I think we talked about that a little bit last time.
Yeah, I had some mixed emotion about that because I contacted DNR, because, and all the other cities I work at, that, a brush drop-off is never done as far as all the time. So I contacted DNR and say, hey, what's the qualification for it? I talked to the air control division, and they said that if we burn more than 80 cubic yards of brush a week, that puts us at risk to be a facilitator, and we have to have special permits. Then we would have to dig a pit, and all this is in the book. It's like 12 feet wide, 12 feet deep, and 9 feet across. We have to push the brush into the pit, and we have to have a blower system hooked up to it that's blowing hot air down to keep it going and keep it to burn smooth. Now, one of those machines, I went on eBay and looked around just to see $45,000 to $75,000 for those machines. Now, there's a company that's supposedly been something out in Illinois and hadn't got back to me with what a rental cost would be. If we, 80 cubic yards is basically 8 truck loads, 8 to 9, just depends on how big they are. We get that daily down there. I mean, there's times we have piles that are huge. So,
And we could only burn 80 cubic yards, did you say a day?
week,
A week?
once a week. Other than that, we have to go into the air cooling system, which I have to explain it. So,
And then
he said that, but it is legal. Indiana does not regulate people burning brush at their house. If it's produced on their land, they can burn it on their land.
That's what
So if a limb comes down, they can carve it up, put it in the fire pit, burn it, no big deal. Leaves the same way, they can burn leaves, as long as, Indiana has no regulation about it. They just have to follow city code, which our city code allows them. You're supposed to have a water source nearby, and you can burn your leaves and brush there.
Right, and it was also found at the jurisdiction of the fire department.
Yeah.
They have since
Yeah,
changed.
Yeah. They would have to come. And I checked around the other cities that allow the people to burn brush, they make them come to City Hall to get a permit, and that permit has to be signed off by the fire department also. It's just a piece of paper saying, I'm gonna burn this day,
most of them
and
are,
there's a free permit, it's just basically let the City Hall know.
and most of those are like for brush
Now-
burnings in.
Now,
Right.
what Indiana told me also was, there's nothing wrong with a one day, like we have a big massive event, an ice storm, a tornado comes down, tree damage. Then, that's no big deal. We can get a 1 day or 1 week burn permit, but we still have to use the air circulation and all that in the pit. Another thing that they told us, which kind of knocks out one of our sites, is we cannot have a fire pit in the 200 yards near any building that's not owned by the city. So at one time, we was talking about moving the fire up to the horse arena and that little empty lot above. That's too close to Yellowwood, so we won't be able to put it there. And one time we talked about the parkland off of Park Avenue. the
Too
dead
close
end.
to residential.
That's too close to the residential, so we couldn't put it there.
And then that little strip across the creek in front of the park, that's,
Yeah.
that's probably 200 yards, but still, it's around the park, so I don't know about that.
I wonder, the other question would be, instead of burning it, if you have a heavy duty chipper,
I asked him that too. Yeah.
then you could use that as mulch or whatever.
Yeah, but I mean,
But that's
I know,
not even cheap either.
I know city of, maybe Kansas City will leave some, but they got a chip place outside of Longview Lake. And that thing's huge, and it's already full up now. And I know they get a big machine in there with a big old drum, and it sits on the back of a semi, it's a big old drum, and they throw branches and leaves and trees, and it shoots it all out, but you probably talk to some expense like that.
I also asked him about that, you know, the property just south of the, or north of the reed bed. And he said that he's already, well, we couldn't take the chance as much money as we're putting on the reeds.
Right,
to
for
get-
something to blow
and
over
he's
there.
already had those fires in that field 3 times, he said. And once the fire department had to come out. So
Twice,
that's-
for both, all times, five from
Yeah, so that's something we.
The last time it came, it almost took out the lean-to building and the UV building because they got that close to the buildings.
Yeah, we can't take that chance.
There's nothing wrong, it's just one of these days that one of the ambulance just got loose and landed in the
Yeah.
field. And
That was that.
And it's, I guess I probably should ask about this during Public Works, but it kind of ties in. Didn't you say one of the pumps was down?
Yes, yes. Actually, both pumps are not looking very well. That's why somebody put it on Facebook, you saw the manhole there at the park is overflowing. And so we went down there, the pumps are looking, but they can't keep up. We got no flow going into the building. There's just so much rain that we had. So we rented a machine today. That's what he's been working on all evening. We had rented a pump. And we got 80 feet of discharge hose stuck down into the actual pit. And then we ran a line 800 feet all the way up and put it inside the oxidation ditch until it can keep, till it gets caught up. Otherwise, lucky so far, I have not heard of any homes being flooded yet. But I'm
That's
sure
that red
they're
pump you
out.
had down there?
No, different one.
No, this is different. We just got it.
Way
about-
bigger. This is a
Came in
chemical
about
pump.
2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. He's been hooking it all up. So it's running right now.
So it's not-
It should be pumping down, but it's only rental. And we'll be looking at $1,000 a day, but it had to be done because I didn't want the houses being flooded out.
Yeah, right.
We'd be spending more than that.
Yeah.
On sewer claims. Like I said,
We're not-
I haven't heard of any houses, but
I haven't been down there, but my son-in-law lives on the park, and he said the park wasn't flooded. So whatever they did to the ditch clean outs and what they've done has made a big difference, because that kind of rain would have been a flood.
Yeah, it was a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
yeah. So, and then like I said, we'll take the machine back once our pumps get up. And then the goal is, I might as well say this, I should say another one too, is the red well, that's where all the main sewer comes in at. It goes to the lift stations, because it's a huge concrete red well. It's got probably 2 to 3 feet of grease built up in it. And this is probably this reed bed project, they're gonna put a hole into the rock middle, and they're gonna drain the reed beds into that. So it goes back up to the plant. We gotta get rid of that grease though. So we got, Ace pipe gonna come out, they're gonna suck that grease up, they're gonna lay pipe, 3 can lay apply it, and this is gonna dissolve and go backfill it. But, that's gonna be a cost, and then, once that gets done, because it has never been done in years, once that gets done, Bob is having FTC come out, and each pump, we got 2 pumps down there, that's why they can't keep up, we got 2 pumps, they're gonna go do on-site, pick up a pump, clean it, unclog it, take the check valve out, clean the check valve out, put it back in, and that, we should be, hopefully the next major event should be able to keep up with it then after that. But, and then we're just gonna keep that well pumped down, you know,
Yeah.
clean, every so often, once a year, have Ace come out and suck it up.
Sorry, but thank you. I just
Yeah.
want everybody to be aware. The final thing on the agenda is bill
Well,
number.
What do you want to do about the brush pit? Do you want to not have one? Do you want to look at a,
It sounded like that was, I mean, for $75,000 worth of.
Yeah.
Glowing.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless we, well, we didn't have a location that was gonna be,
Yeah, I mean,
Feasible, yeah.
yeah, I think we'll have to find an alternative solution, whether that would be shipping or outsourcing, or just have people do it at their homes, and maybe increasing awareness that they can do it at their home.
And what about communication for that, as far as, because a lot of people didn't even know about it. So, did we put anything out saying we weren't gonna burn anymore?
well, there's the sign at 24 and,
it's on,
It's on that sign.
it's on the Facebook page, it's on the website, I believe it's on. the
Okay.
website.
yeah.
All right.
And this next one, what kind of timeline are we on this, with this loan piece?
What?
I mean, how quick do they need? I mean, I know you and I talked about it, but I had not seen the actual documents until I got here tonight, so I don't know.
They want a closing date of July 21st.
That's before we.
Yeah.
And it's 5.06 today.
And you know what because I think we were looking at what, 700,000?
685.
So, what I will give you a preamble and then I'll read this, but what I would ask for is a conditional approval for me to sign the loan documents, assuming that it's in the 5.06 range and 680, not to exceed $685,000.
Yeah,
I believe that's what it says, but I haven't read it, so I mean, if I was doing this for myself, I would definitely want to read this. So I think doing this for the people, I need to read it as well. But bill number 2504, ordinance number 1099, an ordinance authorizing the city of Buckner, Missouri to enter into an equipment lease purchase agreement, the proceeds of which will be used to pay the cost of installing a rebed system at the city wastewater treatment plant, and authorizing certain other documents and actions in connection therewith. So, it needs
Motion to suspend.
Yep.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Second reading, bill number 2504, ordinance number 1099, an ordinance authorizing the city of Buckner, Missouri to enter into an equipment lease purchase agreement, the proceeds of which will be used to pay the cost of installing a rebed system at the city's wastewater treatment plant, and authorizing certain other documents and actions in connection therewith.
Motion to approve. Need roll call.
Motion approved.
Second. Alderman Fry?
Aye.
Alderman Ross?
Aye.
Alderman Walcott?
Aye.
Alderman Moore?
Aye.
And I'll forward, I got the amortization chart, they emailed me this afternoon, and I'll forward it to you, but it's got the payment schedule too.
All right, so it looks like we're one step closer to our project, getting completed. As you heard earlier, we're favorable so far on the budget. Obviously, this will put a little bit of a stress on things in the near term, but it'll be a long term. It's the right thing. If we're gonna have 130-something new houses, we don't want stuff backing up in their basements or what have you. We're getting better at feeding stuff down. I think that's all, it's a win for the community all the way around. It's not sexy, it's not cool like a spray park, but when your toilets quit flushing, you quit worrying about the spray park. So I think y'all did the right thing. Something else that currently escapes. Okay, elected officials' comments.
I just have one, and it's a request, and I said to Joe about this, I think, at the last meeting. When I sit here and I have to look out this way, those blinds are shot, and I'm getting the sun off those cars and getting blinded. Can we get some new blinds over there?
Everyone needs some sunglasses.
Either way, cheaper, but I want the expensive guy.
We can see what we gotta do with the windows.
Just, yeah, it's, yeah.
I'm not sure how they got all messed up, but they are.
We let people rent them out, kids go running around here, whatever, you know. I also rent, it better be bad, just to smoke them out, you know. get tinted.
Yeah, I mean, even
Have
like
tinted.
those drops that are just black with little holes in them.
Yeah, like what I got in my house.
Yeah, like that.
I can look at that.
Thank you.
How many employees we got for the public works now? Yeah, well, I'd like to thank Public Works for everything that they're having to do with just that amount of people.
Sure,
I'll
like to
second
hear.
that.
And it was all mowed down there, looking good. Yeah, I appreciate it.
Thanks for coming
Appreciate
this
it.
Saturday.
Do we want to, for that fundraising event, do we want to put that flyer on our Facebook or website or something?
Yeah, you can, give it to
Support
me.
that?
Yeah.
Get that? Okay.
You know, we could just on both.
I can get something to the board. If somebody's got a flyer, I can.
Yeah, I'm sure that guy has got it. Did he give you one?
The fundraiser for the boot drive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said he's gonna bring one in. I don't think they haven't made it yet.
Okay.
I don't think they have either because they already done it. When you get a flyer, let me know, Joe.
I'll give it to you. Well,
Take care of it.
yeah.
And that's on the 26th, right?
26.
All right, well, I'd like to thank our crack finance team for their help today in managing things. And I think we got did you say 2 interns with you?
Yeah, Mayor Max, I appreciate that. This is Matt and this is Aaron. They're interns with AGH this summer, and I wanted to make sure we brought them to your board meeting so that they could see how local government works. They've not had really any exposure to local government, so they're learning a lot this summer over how it works and what a finance office looks like, and having some exposure to the city administrator and see what that role looks like. So it's been a really, really good internship for them. So thank you guys for letting me bring them along to do
Well,
some
thank you
learning.
for coming to Buckner tonight. If you need something to eat or drink or cheap gas before you leave, we have it
I
all.
had, we went across the street so they could have local cuisine.
There you
There we
go.
go.
Great.
All right, if no one else has anything, we'll take a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We stand adjourned. Thank you.
Can't believe you're gonna buy these lines. I've been hoping